let's do this. Yeah, there is obviously no end to games that I would want to learn runs for. Or get better at runs for. There's just too many games. Yeah, one of these days I also want to actually sit down and learn in like a proper RPG as well. Because there's a lot of RPGs I've thought about learning the speedrun for, and then I just never do. A non-zero amount of those RPGs that I have thought about learning and then never did is because nobody else really runs them. And so resources for them are either non-existent or almost non-existent. While other ones that I've wanted to learn in the past very much would have resources, so that's not a concern at least. Like, maybe one day I will finally learn Paper Mario. Or maybe someday I'll actually go back and learn the run for Chris Tales, like I wanted to back when I first played that game. Or maybe I'll put in the effort to route and be the first person to ever do a speedrun of Operencia the Stolen Son. Because nobody has ever run that game, and therefore there is jack shit for resources or a route. And that game definitely needs resources and a route. Because there is too many variables in that game. Or like maybe I'll learn a Pokemon game or something like that. Because I have thought about learning Pokemon games before. Once upon a time, I was not too far off from getting myself to try and learn Pokemon Sword and Shield. And then I didn't, but I was seriously considering it for a hot minute. Alright, let's get the T-Warp. Nope, too far to the left. There we go. I'll continue that. I'm not thrilled with it, but I have enough time save that I can afford a mediocre prologue. And plus, I don't want to just keep resetting when I need to stop. I need to call it a night soon. Alright, this will be the last run of the night no matter what happens. If Chapter 1 goes poorly, then Chapter 1 goes poorly, and I just gotta suck it up. Yeah, and then I'm losing like 5 seconds here, I think. Which is not as bad as I would expect. Which means if I had gotten the T-Warp first try, this might have actually been gold pace, but oh well. Because I think missing a T-Warp loses like 6 or 7 seconds when I miss it like that specifically. Oh, that is not even as much time loss as I expected. Yeah, that 1000% would have golded if I had gotten that first try. Damn. Oh well. This is still a pretty solid run then. now the run really begins, now that we're out of prologue. Alright. Now let's just not get stuck in the door this time. There we go. It is really, really nice that that one is extremely consistent. That O clip, because the ones in Chapter 2 are not nearly as nice. Alright. Yes! Okay, got that first try. Well, I guess I can't rejoice too early because I have messed up the jump immediately after it, which negates the fact that I got the first jump. But okay, we've got a run because I got the span jump first try. Alright, so if I can get drain skip within a reasonable amount of time and it doesn't take a minute or more or something like that, then this is a very PBable attempt. We'll see, of course, because that trick has kind of kicked my ass today. It cooperated once, and I got it like really quickly once, and then I've gotten it like within a reasonable amount of time several other times, but it has also killed several runs today. So we'll see. Just gotta keep playing. It's the only way to know what'll happen. All right. Okay, didn't mess up that jump. That jump is pretty lenient, all things considered, but it is not free. I have messed it up more than a couple of times. I've even messed it up once today, so I'm always happy when I get it. But now it's time for the trick that actually matters. It's time for drain skip. Let's do this and hope for the best. If I can't get the best, let's just hope for decent. Hell yes! That was pretty much perfect. Like, legitimately, that was about as perfect as I could ask for that skip. I have zero complaints. Alright, now I just need to get escape skip, and we're on to Chapter 2, on a very good pace. There we go. And I didn't mess up a save skip. It's not a terribly difficult trick, but I don't get it every single time, so I'm glad whenever I do get it. Alright, this actually could have gold potential. I don't know if there's enough time to save in this chapter for it 2 gold, but it could technically potentially gold, because I didn't have any actual mistakes. We'll see. If nothing else, this is at least on par with my gold, relatively speaking. And that means, you know, as long as my chapter 2 doesn't suck total ass, this is a good run. And even if chapter 2 does suck total ass, as long as it doesn't suck too much ass, we're good. Because I have almost a full minute and a half between my sum of best and my PB, which means I have a decent amount of leeway between getting a 38 and not. So hopefully I get a 38. A 37 would be even cooler, but like again, I'm not going to be that optimistic, because realistically that requires me to just not make mistakes. And I'm going to make at least a few. I just gotta hope that they're not too big as far as mistakes go. Alright, let's see. Was it a gold? It was by over 2 seconds. That's pretty good. That is a pretty solid gold, all things considered. Hell yeah. I will take it. It's like I didn't really have any time to save in Chapter 1, yet I still somehow managed to gold it again. So I cannot complain. Just because I'm out of Chapter 1 on a really good pace does not mean I am home free by any means. I've got a lot left to do in this run. Need to make sure I mess up as little of it as possible. Alright. Okay, that's fine, because I'm able to clear it off right here. There. Alright. Just about done with this intro section, which is good. This intro section is not difficult by any means. Like, there's no tricks here, really. It's just a matter of doing it correctly. But doing it correctly is obviously the kicker, because it is very, very possible to mess some stuff up here. I have messed it up in the past. Alright, time for the meat and potatoes, Chapter 2. If I don't get all this stuff perfectly, that's not the end of the world, as long as I can get it within a reasonable amount of time. But if I could get this stuff perfectly, that would be quite swell. I'd be pretty happy about that. Alright. Time to get started. After this elevator ride. Shame there's no elevator music. I don't really know what they would do for elevator music in this kind of game. Alright. Let's do this. It's time. Fuck. Alright. I got this first try every other time I've gotten here today. I was bound to mess it up once. It sucks, it's time loss, but it's not the end of the world. I got it second try, I'll take it. You know, this isn't going to be gold pace. Like, even if I get a perfect set of O clips, I don't think this will gold. But, like, I can't complain too much. I will take a second try there. It could be way worse. Oh, of course I get fucking perfect O clips after messing up that trick, though. Come on, man. I mean, I'm not complaining that I got perfect O clips, but of course I get perfect O clips during a run I've already made a mistake during this chapter on. Oh well. Again, I can't complain. I got through them perfectly. That literally almost never happens. I'm happy. That section had huge, massive potential, just completely screwed me over, so the fact that it didn't is a good sign. Alright. Let's aim my shots properly to shut down the propaganda machine. Okay, we're good. I did not miss any shots that time, so that is... This actually, despite messing up that jump, this might actually still gold. I have to get through the rest of the chapter first. I can't get it. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. This chapter is not over by any means. There's a lot left. Even if none of the stuff left is the hardest thing ever by any means, there is still a lot left. And I have messed up easy stuff more than a couple times, so I am not going to count my chickens before they hatch. Partially because I don't have any chickens. Partially because they haven't hatched. So let's just keep this going. If nothing else, this will not lose time, or at least not very much, to my gold. Because my gold is the run that I'm comparing against. Because I did gold the split during that PB. There's not too much left in this chapter that can go, like, horribly wrong, but I am going to be careful in a few spots, probably, to be safe. Like, at the end with the escape sequence, I am not going to go and YOLO the fire cycle, because there's no reason to. It saves a couple of seconds, and I am not about to die during that escape sequence, because I got greedy. I do not need to. This run is good enough pace for me not to need to be greedy. I did it in the PB that I'm comparing against. I did go for it because the run was already kind of garbage, but like this run's way better. There we go. Okay. I should probably start playing this section a little bit safer during good runs, so that the letters don't slide all the way down the hill, but it's fine. It all worked out. Alright. Now this part is... Since I've started playing this part more safely, I'm not as worried about it as I used to be, but it is definitely not free by any means. And yeah, that is still a segment that I need to actually go into the workshop, practice this section of the chapter, and just put those letters in place faster. Because I know for a fact whatever I'm doing there is not optimal, but also I am not going to be routing it on the fly during a run. I'm just going to do something that gets it done. Because it does not lose me enough time for me to want to make a huge stink about it. It is at most a couple of seconds. And I do not need a couple of seconds in order to PB. A couple seconds would be nice, but I am not at the point where my PBs are that tight yet. Alright. But now it's time for the finale of this chapter. Let's see how it goes. Get a short stretch in during the cutscene. Time for the escape sequence. Right. Because none of the platforming during this ending sequence is, like, terribly difficult. But that doesn't mean I can just ignore it either. Do need to be a little bit careful. This part right here is the part that I was talking about with the fire. I'm just gonna wait a cycle, play it safe, and then go. Are you fucking kidding me? It ate my jump. Eat my ass, dude. That sucks ass. Well, that's 30 plus seconds down the drain. Because it fucking ate my jump. God fucking damn it. Alright, well 37 is dead. And 38 is still doable, but it's gonna be a shit ton harder now. God damn it, that sucks. I'm really annoyed about that one. That should not have happened. Well, this was potentially going to gold, not anymore. I will still be green after this, so that's not going to be the concern. And I still have a decent chunk of time to save in Chapter 3, but man, that sucks. Ooh, all the runs are time-stamped. Please clap. Back just in time to see this run go from really, really good to just kind of good. Because I jumped out. Oh well. I will still be green after this split, so it's not the end of the world. It just could have been better. I mean, yeah, you could definitely... You've got the big timestamps in, so you could probably just leave it for now and then come back to it later in the week if you want to, if you decide you want to try and improve them. Man, this would have golded if they didn't eat my jump. That sucks. Oh well. Not the end of the world. Yeah, tomorrow I'm probably going to try and get some of my incentives submitted so that I don't forget to do those. At the very least, get the, like, the bid war for level head for the GR18 color. Rift of the Necromancer, I'll just say, oh, you can add more songs. I'm sure I could always do more. There's like 8 million incentives that you can do for Rift, but I'll at the very least throw that in the mix, and then I can add more later if I want to. And then I should probably also timestamp this game, because I don't normally timestamp my submissions, not because I shouldn't, but because like for Levelhead's not really a run that I want. I can timestamp it, but it's also kind of the game where if I did timestamp it, it wouldn't really get things across very well. Because Levelhead's kind of like, it's a 2D platformer, that much is obvious, but like, the cool stuff about the run, like, yeah, I could just like timestamp where I explain some of that stuff, but like, some of the cool tricks in the run are not nearly as cool if you haven't seen the regular gameplay as much. That kind of thing. Which is why I never wanted to timestamp it, because it's like, that and the fact that, with a couple of exceptions, if you were to just skim around through the Levelhead run, you'd be seeing cool stuff pretty much the entire time. There's not like, it's not a run where all of the cool stuff is like isolated to like specific spots. It's like, nah, Levelhead's cool the entire time. I think I'm trying to remember if I timestamped Rebel Transmute at all. I don't remember at this point, because I might have for like my initial submission back during the new game submission period for SGDQ 2024. I might have timestamped that submission. I don't remember at this point. I didn't timestamp Manuel Samuel because who cares? It's Manuel Samuel. You get the gist of Manuel Samuel in the first couple of minutes anyway. But I think this game warrants being timestamped, because I think there's enough downtime that I want to make sure that they don't just jump into the middle of a minute-long cutscene. And also there's the cool tricks are a lot sparser than some of the other games that I've done. See, like, I'll probably timestamp, like, Escape Skip, Drain Skip, probably the O clips in Chapter 2, at the very least. And, like, I could just do every trick, but, like, those are definitely the ones I'm, like, yeah, no, I definitely need to, I want to make sure that they see these. Probably some of the stuff in Chapter 3 as well, like the final boss phase skip. I mean, yeah, that's fair, because it's like, since I don't re-download and then re-upload my marathon runs and my hotfix runs, again, I can't timestamp them in the description when they're not my uploads, so that's partially why I don't really care too much about them as well. I mean, yeah, like, I'm aware that they appreciate that, but it's like I said, unless I start downloading and re-uploading my runs, I'm not really too concerned about the timestamps, because it's like, Because part of it is, it's like, if somebody was willing to take the run, that helps as well. And usually my marathon runs are good enough to the point where, like, if I'm willing to use a marathon run as a submission video, then wherever they jump around to, with as long as the run isn't like Typoman and has like a good amount of downtime, wherever they jump to in the run, even if it's just by chance, odds are they're going to be seeing some good stuff. Like Rebel Transmute, yeah, it has a handful of tricks here and there, but like, no matter where you look in the run, you're going to be seeing some cool movement or some cool combat, or both. Especially once you get to the second half. So like, that's a game where I'm not nearly as concerned with it for. Alright, didn't mess that up. Alright, time to focus, because I'm at this section. Alright, we're good. I got the major time gated thing done. Oh, damn it. Messed that up a little bit. I fixed it quickly, but the O didn't stay in place. Damn it. Okay, well that's gonna fuck up the cycles probably. That sucks. That really sucks. Damn it, I'm gonna have to wait an extra cycle now. Unless... Oh no, I think I was able to still make the cycle I normally make. That's good. I genuinely thought I was gonna miss it. Alright, cool. But yeah, if I do intend on submitting Typoman to other events besides GDQ, which I probably will, yeah, having the timestamps would probably be a good idea. Because it's a cool run, but yeah, it has a lot of downtime. I'm actually a little scared of that jump. Okay, cool, we made it. Because obviously I'm not going to submit this to No Glitches Allowed, but I'll probably submit it to a future Preventathon. I'll probably submit it to a like No Holidays Allowed type stuff, where they don't have any restrictions. And obviously this game is abstract enough to not have any issues when it comes to Preventathon's guidelines. Meanwhile, Limbo, on the other hand, the game that this is, the game that I compare this game to quite often, Limbo, would not be good for Preventathon. Or at least it would be significantly less good. You might be able to swing Limbo for the fall event, but not for the summer event. Or I guess if you just never die in Limbo, then you'd probably be fine. You could probably make an argument for it, but this is not Limbo, so I don't have to worry about it. Alright, as long as I get the final boss skip, the phase skip for the final boss, I am big chill. But I need to get the skip. Fuck! Don't start doing this again, dude. Thank you. Alright, sucks that I messed up once, but that's fine. Messing up once is like, 5 to 10 seconds. Not the end of the world. I have more than enough time saving this chapter, combined with the fact that I'm already ahead coming into this chapter. Alright, I just need to lock in and not mess up the rest of the final boss, and this is what I've been going for. sweaty. Not necessarily even because of the run itself, it's just hot in the room that I'm in. Combine that with the fact that I'm on a good pace, then yeah, my hands are really sweaty. It's actually really nice that after the first phase skip for the final boss here, like, there's not really too much left in the run that's stressful. I wish it was cold here. I mean, it's not, it is cooling off in general with where I'm at, but like, inside the room that I'm in right now, it is very much not cold. Because the room that I'm in does not control well. And the fact that I have my Xbox running, my laptop running, all the lights on, the door is closed, and on top of that, the ventilation doesn't want to kick in. Yeah, this room heats up very quickly when I stream. I'm not sure what temperature it is outside right now. When I was outside midday earlier, I swear it was like 80-something degrees. But when I was outside a bit later, it was closer to like 60 or 70 Fahrenheit. I can do firm, and I can do life. Life is probably better. I can do life. I can check the temperature after the run is over, because I'm curious. Alright. Last phase, let's do it. Let's pick out a word nice and early as well. Safe. I can do safe. I'm going to do safe. And there we go. Damn, that actually would have been a 37 if I didn't mess up the final boss phase time. But it's a 38. I finally got it. It's surprisingly close to a 37, but I'll take it. I am happy with that. I finally got it. It only took 3 PBs today. Also, hello, fun. Yeah, this is Kaizo Boggle, definitely. No, this is Typoman. The best way to describe Typoman is it's basically if you took Limbo and made it words. If you're familiar with Limbo at all. It's basically like the same style of game as that, where it's like, you know, 2D puzzle platformer, but all the puzzles are words and letter-based. And you came in on the final boss. But also, yes, I like Kaizo Boggle. That was a very funny description of this game. But I've been trying to get a 38 all night. I started the night with like a 39-36 as my PB, and then I PB'd by 30 seconds, where it was the best run I've ever had, and it's still the best run I ever had into Chapter 3, and then I absolutely, completely butchered Chapter 3, lost like a minute and a half, and then ended up with a 39:04, I think it was. And then I did another run where Chapter 1 was absolute total dog shit, but I had enough time saving Chapter 3 to make up for it. And then I get to Chapter 3, and I nail it somewhat, but I still make too many mistakes. And so I ended up PBing by like 2 seconds and got a 39:02. So now I finally got my 38 that I've been going for. I'm a little disappointed that I missed 37 by just a couple seconds, but I'll take it. The mistakes in this run were a little unfortunate, but I'm happy with this. This is 3rd place on the leaderboards now. I'm out of 4th place finally into 3rd. Also, I said I would check with the temperatures. I'm going to go check with the temperatures because I'm curious. Oh, it's actually currently 53 degrees Fahrenheit outside. It is not 53 degrees Fahrenheit in the room I'm in currently. It is very warm in the room that I'm in currently. But finally got the PB though, so I'm happy leaving this here for at least a little while. Oh yeah, no, 53 degrees is definitely not warm by any means, but When the sun was out today, it was, I swear, it was like high 70s, low 80s. And I really wish it was 50. It was closer to 53 degrees in this room right now. Thankfully, once I move in a couple months, I will have localized AC and heating so that I can control the temperature of the rooms that I'm in better without affecting the rest of the living space. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because you're in New England font, so I know your temperatures are probably not terribly different from mine most of the time until like it really gets into the swing of winter. But bring on the cold temperatures. I'm tired of summer. I am more than happy to have 50-degree weather. I like the cold. And now that it's finally fall, get rid of those 80-degree temperatures. I don't want them anymore. It's fall. Give me 50, 60 degrees on a regular basis. If I'm able to go outside wearing a light jacket, that is perfect. If I have to go outside wearing a heavy jacket, I still like that, but it's slightly less perfect. And speaking of things that are slightly less perfect, that PB. So yeah, the prologue was like a kind of not my best work, but like it was not bad by any means. Chapter 1, still surprised I managed to get another gold. Chapter 2 was kinda hot garbo. It had 2 pretty big mistakes in there, but thankfully that only amounted to about 20 seconds of time loss. And Chapter 3 was not perfect, but it was good enough. Thankfully, I only lost like 7 seconds on Chapter 3 compared to my gold, and I'm pretty sure that gold is still very improvable. Not by like a massive margin, but by at least a few seconds. Partially because if I make an earlier cycle in that one section with where I have to like spawn in a lie quickly for the hate to turn it into love. Yeah, for that section. If I do things better there, I can actually save a cycle on that platform, but it is difficult, and I do not go for it, really, because it's not worth the risk. But I finally got my 38, so I'm at least happy about that. Could be better, but it can always be better. So I will take it.